What would you do if there were two of you? Hopefully none of this stuff.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
Now, everybody knew at least one set of twins growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know those twins. When I say that, you think of some specific twins. And while it was cool, wasn't it a little bit mysterious, a little bit weird? Twins can be a little bit weird, can't they?
You could get the Olsen twins, but at the same time, you could get those creepy twin girls from The Shining. So today we present to you the bizarre, interconnected lives of twins.
Let's get started with some Swedish twin sisters, Ursula and Sabine Eriksson, back in 2008. They were on holiday in the UK when they actually made an inadvertent appearance on the British version of Cops called Motorway Cops.
Okay.
You just have to watch the video to see what they did. Let's roll that. So that's Ursula. She goes out into the road.
No!
Yep, she got hit by that tractor trailer.
Oh, is that her? Is that what's left of her?
That's just a hat. And then her sister,
what?
Sabine, went out and got hit by a Volkswagen.
Right after?
Slow-mo. Again, this is Ursula. They're playing Frogger in real life. And then, boom.
Ooh,
tough to see through that man's head.
Don't get going
And then this is the one that got hit by the Volkswagen. No, this is the second one. This is Sabine. She's okay, as you can see. At least she's physically okay.
She's running after that Land Rover.
She really wants to get back out in that road and get hit by another car.
Calm down.
Calm down, girl.
They're high on something.
You think?
They're high on something.
They're high on something.
They're high on being twins, man. One of them ran and hit the side of that truck, and then the other one ran in front of the Volkswagen. Why?
Ursula's leg. Well, I don't know. Like I said, maybe it was Frogger in real life, which I've always thought about doing. But then Ursula got both of her legs crushed. So don't do that at home, kids. And then Sabine goes out after her, gets hit by the Volkswagen, and then she runs away from the cops. She gets away. They basically capture her for a little bit, but then she gets out of police custody.
They captured her jacket.
Yes, they did, Link. They also captured her, but then they let her go. They were like, she seems fine. Apparently she wasn't fine because the next day she went on to stab a man 5 times with a kitchen knife and then jump off a 40-foot bridge.
May she rest in peace.
No, may the man rest in peace. But of course, Sabine, just like when she gets hit with a Volkswagen, she just got a little shaken up, jumping off that 40-foot bridge.
She walked it off?
Of course, she was then charged with murder, but she used an interesting defense called folie à deux, which is shared psychosis. That's for some reason they use the French way of saying that. Basically saying that somebody can have a delusion and then transfer it to another person. And amazingly, this actually worked, and she only got charged with manslaughter. Because she slaughtered a man with a knife.
Okay, well, okay.
But it wasn't murder. It wasn't murder.
Shared psychosis, I got one of those for you. The Silent twins from Wales, June and Jennifer Gibbons, refused to speak to anyone but each other, okay? And when they spoke to each other, it was in a secret twin language, which sounds totally weird, but actually 50% of young twins will do this. It's called cryptophagia. They were also avid writers. Which is really nice. They wrote in their journals often about how they wanted to kill each other. And they wrote some young adult novels. Jennifer wrote Discomania.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
It was about a disco that makes you go crazy.
Which disco doesn't?
And June wrote Pepsi Cola Addict, which is about a Pepsi Cola addict.
She wrote Pepsi Cola Addict?
Yes, she did.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorites.
It's got a great cover on it too. It's like, that's irresistible. I gotta read that.
Yeah.
Now, they were unable to set the publishing world on fire, so they just set a barn on fire.
Okay.
At the age of 18, they were sent to a psychiatric hospital.
Really?
And they made a pact that one of the twins had to die.
Of course.
Fast forward 11 years, on the day that they were released from the psychiatric hospital, Jennifer died suddenly from an inflammation of the heart. No evidence of drugs, no evidence of foul play at all, but June was quoted as saying, "At last, Jennifer has given up her life for me."
She did, she sacrificed herself.
Here's the weird thing. June went on to lead a normal life and continues to live in Wales, where you should visit her, hang out with her.
Yeah, you should. I'm sure she's real normal. Okay, now, a lot of people have suspected that twins can communicate telepathically, but has that ever really been tested? Yes, it has, by a British television show.
Oh.
In 2003, a TV show set down 2 8-year-old identical twins, Richard and Damien Powells. Basically what they did is they put little Richard not the singer, the boy.
Which that's a good TV show.
In one room, and then they put Damien in another room, and they started doing stuff to Richard. First thing they did is they stuck his hand in ice water, and immediately Damien peed himself. No, that's not what happened.
Well, that would be warm water.
Yeah, well, I was trying something.
Right.
But actually what happened is there was a blip on, they had him hooked up to a polygraph test to monitor his reactions to this, and there was a blip on the polygraph. There was a reaction. Okay. Then they brought out the rubber snakes. Ooh. Very scientific. Do we have any rubber snakes? Scare him with the rubber snakes. Apparently, he was very scared by the rubber snakes. And then there was another blip.
Oh.
Damien responded. Now, this sounds really compelling and really amazing, but then
it does.
The producers went on to say that this was not a legitimate experience, and you shouldn't conclude anything from this, and there were no scientists involved. So while there was a blip on the polygraph, it probably wasn't real, but there was a blip in the ratings, and that's what really matters.
That's all that matters.
And just, I actually looked into this. There haven't been any real scientific studies to prove that happens, even though a lot of twins say they can communicate telepathically. It hasn't ever been proven in a scientific laboratory.
I do not believe, I know you didn't ask, but I do not believe in that. But I don't even know what I'm thinking and feeling half the time. So who am I to say? Ronald Anderson.
We can talk about that later.
Good old Ronald Anderson. He was sitting in an LA jail cell, serving a 6-month sentence for spousal abuse, ugly, when simultaneously he was caught at his wife's house attempting to murder her.
I'm guessing it wasn't him, Link. I'm guessing it had something to do with the fact that he was a twin.
Bingo! It was,
there's a pattern here.
There was no real suspense there.
They're all twins.
We're talking about twins. His identical twin brother, Donald, so Ronald had a brother, Donald.
Oh gosh, that's great.
They did that. Was sitting in jail as Ronald, and then Donald comes up. Now, this is not the first time he's done that. He did it 3 other times. Donald went to jail for Ronald, and in 1970, Ronald enlisted in the U.S. Army to be a helicopter mechanic, and he was headed off to Korea, but the night before he goes off to Korea, he's like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I'm out. And
Donald steps up.
Cue Donald. Donald steps up and says, I'll do it. I love you, brother.
Donald, what is your deal?
I mean, look, here's a picture of him looking at a picture of his brother.
He loves his brother.
Look how much he loves him. He said, I'll do it. He didn't know anything about helicopters or being in the Army, but he showed him rifle drills using a broomstick.
But nothing about the helicopters.
And then they never found out, and he figured out the helicopter stuff. He stayed over there. But back to the last thing, they figured it out when he tried to attempt to kill his wife.
Right, yeah.
And
that's not Donald. Ronald.
So they put Donald. They did the old unswitcheroo. Put Donald in, took Ronald out, and Ronald was just like, no further punishment for him for impersonating his brother.
So who's in jail now?
Donald.
Or is it
Ronald?
Or is it?
I'm confused. I don't know.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
It should be Ronald.
Back in 2009, somebody broke into a German luxury department store, stole 5 million euros worth of jewelry and watches.
Wow.
And the German police said, we have found the DNA of 2 different people. Actually, we found DNA of 2 people who have the same DNA. They were twins, Link. Identical twins. This was Hassan and Abbas O. The O is not their last name, but according to German law, if you're charged with a crime, you can't have your full name spelled out. So anyway, they arrested both of these guys. They're like, we don't know which one did it, but we're gonna arrest both of them. And then right before their trial, the court says, from the evidence we have, we can deduce that at least one of the brothers took part in the crime, but it has not been possible to determine which one. So they let them both go. But here's a picture of him.
Wow.
It's clearly the guy on the left. Look at him.
His tongue just
He's
waggling.
wearing black. He's got his tongue out. He's wearing jewelry that he probably stole in the picture.
That necklace is definitely 5 million euros.
Germans, you just need to help. Let me help with your criminal justice process. It's the guy on the left. But if you're in Germany and you want to commit a crime and you're a twin, do it together. That's the lesson there.
All right, I got one that's pretty interesting here. Now, back in 1988, a group of geneticists were secretly trying to create the perfect child, but they ended up just creating twins, okay? But then they said one of the brothers, Julius Benedict, became what some called the perfect human specimen. Really? And then they said that all the leftover garbage genes went into his brother Vincent. And the interesting thing is they always dressed the same, they went on adventures together, and they documented those adventures. Let's watch this.
Okay, grab my hand. Come on. Ease up,
Ease up, tighten
See, one of them's stronger than the other one.
Yeah, they look very different.
Right.
See, come on, that's it. Relax.
I'm just
All right,
nervous.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Teaching them how to dance. You've been Shrek'd!
Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
You know what time it is.
Hey, I'm Jillian. I'm Alexa. We're at the National Botanic Garden, and it's time to spin the wheel of Mythicality.
If you're a twin and you want to look different and cooler than your other twin, get a Rhett Link hat. RhettLink.com/store. Look at that. I can't be a twin. Oh, unless we both put on hats.
Yeah. Click through the Mythical Morning.
can
We're
go all
gonna
the way.
play Mortal Kombat.
Look at this.
Twin Edition. Click that eye.
Link is a flat tire. Oh, dang it. I hate it when this happens. I didn't renew my AAA membership, so I'm going to have to figure out how to take care of this myself.
Yeah, sorry about that, boss.
First thing I'm going to do is just wet it a little bit. Yeah,
Not gonna help.
And now I've got to get some kind of...
Kind of liked it, but
Got to get...
not really gonna help much.
I've got to get a straw, and I'm going to have to put it in the valve.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a straw. Ooh, you don't have to actually blow like that.
Whoa, whoa! What was that?
You know what that was? It was photons. That guy's got a symbol on his head. You know he's gonna shoot some photons.
Whoa!